Welcome to Wilderness Wednesday. Today we're going to be talking about finding food in the wild. Today we reach the final part of our survival series, but there's still always skills to learn. You may recall that on day 1, week 1, we talked about shelter building, and then we talked about water. Last week we talked about fire, and this week we're talking about food, which is, surprisingly enough, the final essential part of survival. Once all of our needs are met in the wilderness, being hungry can feel pretty terrible. It makes us feel more lonely, and it just doesn't feel good in general. One really neat thing about using plants as food is that you can often use a lot of parts of the plant for different things. You can even use parts of the branches as string or things to construct objects with, and oftentimes a lot of parts of the plant are actually edible. So today I'm going to talk about a few plants that we can find to help us feel less hungry and get some nutrients. The one thing with collecting plants is it's really important to remember that too much of anything can be really hard on our digestive systems, so remember to eat things in moderation, and remember that water is the most important thing for us, and so yeah, keep an eye out for water, eat plant material when it's available to you, but try not to eat too much of one thing, because if it's causing you to have vomiting or diarrhea, then you lose water really quickly and it's hard to keep up. Alright, here's a really neat plant that you can identify by these crazy dots on the bottom of the leaves. Those are actually glands, so that the leaf can take in and release water. And they even have them on the top of the leaves too. If you feel them, it's actually kind of soft, but they're bumpy. The branches also have these glands on them. They're kind of like a golden color, and their berries are generally bright red, like these ones. This is called the Canada Buffaloberry, and these berries are very high in iron and vitamin C. Oh yeah. They can also be known as soapberry because they have kind of a foaming property when they're all crushed up. And they actually stay on the bush into the fall, which is really nice for collecting in the fall. One plant to warn you against is these ones that have these little peas on them. They look edible because they look like a normal pea that we would eat, but in fact they often can carry toxins and things that aren't good for our body, so avoid them when you can. This little plant here is called the plantain, and this whole plant is actually edible. And it's quite high in vitamins A, C, and K. These little plants, or I should say big bushes, their little fruit on them, that's actually hazelnuts. And hazelnuts are edible so long as you don't have an allergy. They're high in protein and quite healthy for you. Here you can see this hazelnut is getting ready to open up. This little guy is a wild strawberry. It's not quite ready to go, but when it is, oh, that'll be a sweet treat. Rose hips, like this one, they turn pink, red or orange when they're ready to go, and then they are super high in vitamin C. You just have to break them open and get the seeds all out, because The seeds can cause really a lot of stomach discomfort and discomfort when you're pooping, so just make sure you get all those seeds out of there first, but they're super good for you otherwise. Dandelions are also fully edible. The heads, or the flowers, and the leaves, totally edible, the whole thing, and actually good for you. Thanks for watching Wilderness Wednesday today. Check in next week for a new video, and you can watch Eleanor's Fun Craft Friday on Friday this week. Remember, in God's wilderness we are set apart but still together. Go in peace to love and serve the Lord. Thanks be to God! Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Hallelujah!